Hello out there. How's everybody doing? I just want to do this quick video to thank you guys so much for all the support you've been giving me, all the kind words. Just you guys have been really helping me out in so many different ways, and it really went a long way. You guys been reaching out to me beforehand, asking how can you help out with what I'm doing. I gave you guys some links to check out, and you guys have really just stepped up to another level and really shown that you care and support. And I just want to do this to say thank you so much for everything you've done. And remember to like, subscribe, and share. And if you want to figure out how you want to know how to support what I'm doing, I have links to all my videos so you can figure out the support. As you guys know, I'm still not monetized. That's why you got the videos ad free. But like I don't let YouTube stop me. I'm here for the people. God bless. Hello out there. How's everybody doing? Is everybody's favorite conservative in New York, Christopher Wright? Here to present you with one of my sit back and chats. What today's conversation is going to be about? It's going to be about what I'm sure everybody has been hearing about these last few days. And yesterday it kind of, erupted in like a huge just propaganda volcano. But it is the Breonna Taylor situation. The situation that's going on with Breonna Taylor. I want to speak on that because of the fact that there was rioting and looting going on in Louisville, Kentucky yesterday because they indicted one of the three cops that were invited in the Breonna Taylor situation. And people were upset because it wasn't a murder charge, it wasn't a manslaughter charge. He's facing 1 to 3 years with the charge, so people were very upset with it. But people are upset, and I know when I talk to people about this situation, they don't know the details. So I kind of want to just to kind of give people like a little more information about what happened that day. First and foremost, when the cops came and there was a no-knock warrant, which is legal in the state at the time, and they did knock. And the reason why they were there in the first place is because of their ex-boyfriend, Jamarcus Glover, was a drug dealer. And he was using her house for deliveries. And people who are familiar enough with the drug trade know that's a thing that drug dealers do sometimes, is they'll use somebody else's property for deliveries, not their own. Because for situations like this, if the cops come and they want to raid the place, then it's not going to be your place. So her ex was using her place as a drug delivery spot. And so when the cops came, because like I said, the cops were called, it was supposed to be a raid, they knocked. When they knocked and there was no answer, they then entered the apartment. And Breonna Taylor was not in her bed. She was in the hallway. And her current boyfriend at the time, Kenneth Walker, shot at the police first. So he shot the police. The police returned fire. One of the cops was hit in the leg, was injured. The cops returned fire. And when they returned fire, Breonna Taylor was caught in the crossfire being in the hallway and was killed in the crossfire. So what is the main point of this whole situation? To me, the biggest issues are this. One is the mainstream media, lamestream media, as you guys know I call them, and how they reported on this whole situation. They reported on it totally wrong, which got people stirred up and upset because they didn't give all the proper details. That's one issue. And two is the issue with Breonna Taylor. I'm not a woman myself, of course, obviously. I don't identify as a woman or anything like that. I'm not a leftist. But her choice in men, it's like she had a bad choice in men, man. She had two guys who were, just issues with the law, past criminal records and everything like that. And you date these guys and you kind of let them use you. One guy use you for your property as a drug delivery spot. And when things hit the fan, you're the one who's left with egg in their face. I mean, not to be disrespectful, may she rest in peace. She's like, to me, she was an innocent woman. But the issue that I see in the black community, and I see this very often, let me tell you guys a little something about my personal life. When I was in Georgia, I lived there for 5 years. I was a cable guy for 5 years. And I would go to homes in Atlanta. And, it's a lot of black population in the city of Atlanta. I would go to these nice homes sometimes, knock on the door, there'd be no answer. I'll call the customer and be like, are you home, kind of thing. And it would be a woman at work. And she's like, I'm sorry, I'm at work. My boyfriend's home, da-da-da-da. I'm like, okay, that's cool. 10 minutes later, the boyfriend finally comes to the door. The house smells like, marijuana, whatever it may be. It stinks, He's laying on the couch, halfway passed out. He's like, oh, yo, what's up, bro? The box in the back, you know what I mean? And just lazy. And I'm like, this dude, he's not working. He's not doing anything for himself. But yet he's allowed to stay here and just chill and do drugs and relax all day while you go to work. That's not the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be the other way around. And see, a lot of issues going in the black community is this. And it always goes back to this. You guys know who's been watching me for a while. You guys know I always speak on this. It's fatherless homes in the black household. That is the issue. That is the problem we have in the black community. Fatherless homes. What do fatherless homes do? Fatherless homes do for a black male like myself. If you have a fatherless home, you don't have an alpha to look up to, a role model to look up to growing up in a household. So you know that's what you see a lot of black men nowadays are thugs. because they're getting raised by the streets, or you got them in dresses or whatever, acting all feminine because they're acting like their mother or whatever. So there's no alpha male to raise them. So it affects males that way. With a woman, what it does is, in my opinion, is when she gets older, she doesn't know what a good man looks like because she has no father that she grew up with and raised her and showed her her first example of what a good man is supposed to be. And like I said, if I tell people all the time, if I have a daughter in the future, what I'm going to do is daddy-daughter dates. So I'll take her on dates as a daddy-daughter thing, kind of show her at a very young age, this is how a man's supposed to treat you. So when she gets older and she gets to that point where she starts dating, she can see a good man a mile away because how her father raised her. So this is what Breonna Taylor is a perfect example of a young lady more likely not raised by a father, because she's picking these thug dudes who aren't real men, but the society promoting thug culture and not growing up in a home with a father, she had no clue what a real man looks like. So she picks these two idiots who ended up are the reason why she lost her life. So that's why I really want to speak on this subject, because it's getting crazy what's going on with George Floyd and the guy last name Jacobs. You guys know I'm bad with names, but these guys, not separate them from Breonna Taylor. These guys are true criminals. These guys are the issue. These guys had criminal records. George Floyd put a gun to a pregnant woman's stomach and pretty much robbed her home. You had the guy last name Jacobs who had the knife, pulled it out on the police. They chased him to his car. He's about to get a gun and pull it out on him, and they shot him in the back. And these guys, and not to mention before that, he on his criminal record, he raped a 14-year-old girl in his past. So these are the people that they're trying to push up and promote and put in the same category with MLK and Malcolm X and like all these great black civil rights leaders from the past. They're trying to say George Floyd is the next version of that. Give me a freaking break. And the guy last name Jacobs, and Breonna Taylor, no disrespect, out of the group, she seemed like the one on a personal level, just who she was as an American citizen, had the cleanest record out of the group. She just was, at the wrong place with the wrong people at the wrong time. That's all it is. That's why when you're a young man, even me, my dad told me growing up, don't hang out with certain crowds of people. They might seem like it's cool, it might seem like fun, but if things hit the fan and the cops come rushing in, you're going to get handcuffed and arrested like everybody else. Or if the gunfire starts happening, you're going to be right in the middle of the gunfire like everybody else. It's not going to separate you because you're a good person on the, excluding that event that you're a nice person overall. That's not going to help anything. So I feel sorry for you, Breonna Taylor. In my opinion, I've seen a situation in the black community more than just her situation, is when, you just get the black community, people in the black community who are good people get caught up in the thug culture because the thug culture is promoted by the media, by, a lot of black leaders, celebrities, athletes like LeBron James, the spineless coward, as Kobe Covington called him. But these are the people who are being a voice for the black community, and they are just destroying the black community because they are not using their voice to show them how the right road to go on so they can have a better chance of being successful in this country. They're promoting that victimhood mentality. They're spewing that victimhood mentality, which is putting blacks in that corner, keeping them in that spot where they can never grow and never move up. And that to me is just selfish, in my opinion, and I'm tired of seeing it going on. So when the Breonna Taylor situation happened going on right now and people start rioting and looting and burning buildings down, there's going to be blacks who are going to get criminal records for doing this. That's going to affect them. They're going to get felonies. That's going to affect them for the rest of their entire life. For the rest of their life. And I'm here just to try and talk about black conservatism. And I'm doing more to help out my community than these so-called black leaders that are running around, these leftist freaking propaganda spewing black leaders who are just coming out here to keep blacks as victims. And I'm trying to tell blacks, you don't have to be a victim. There's other options. And the Breonna Taylor's out there in the world right now. If any one of you guys are listening, dating these loser guys, because, the guy's, he's dope. He's got, whatever. He's popular, whatever it may be on the streets. Don't waste your time. If you're on the right track, stay on the right track. And the best way to stay on the right track is to focus and, love this country. Look at, put God first and just walk that thin and narrow road that God put us on. And if you walk that road properly, you're going to be all right. But you got to stay away from the wrong people. And those people like Jamarcus Glover, Kenneth Walker, George Floyd, Brandon Jacobs, whatever his last name is. His last name's Jacobs, all I got. So stay away from individuals like that. But like always, thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks for all the support you've been giving me as of late. I really appreciate what you guys have been doing. It's amazing. And I'm pushing forward, till November 3rd, 2020, baby. Let's get Trump back there and reelected. But God bless everybody out there listening. And God bless the United States of America. Peace out. Yeah.